Good evening, folks, and welcome to the Horror Corner. Did you make breakfast this morning? I'm not hungry. Good evening, folks, and welcome to the Horror Corner. I'm your host, Sean Erschen. This week we are doing another movie review. This is Jacob's Wife. Released in 2021, directed by Travis Stevens, starring the legendary Barbara Crampton, Larry Fassender, Bonnie Aarons, and Robert Russler from Elm Street 2 fame. Yes, so the film was released in 2021 and got solid reviews. It's even certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, so yeah. Great work for a horror film, and you got a great showcase, I feel, for the legendary Barbara Crampton. And it's really great to see her shine in a movie that basically centers around her, you know. And this is the first time I believe I've seen her be the lead actress, and, you know, where the movie's just centered around her. You kind of had that with From Beyond, but still you had a lot of supporting characters. Here, the movie centers around her. And she does a fantastic job. She has an excellent performance. Maybe even the best performance of her career, I would say, you know. She's just smart, sexy, and funny even. She even has some good funny moments in the film. Like, at one point she sees a stack of meat at the supermarket and she kind of pokes her finger in there, and you know, she's got the blood on her finger and she's like and then the butcher is there, she's like how much of that can I get? She's like, you just want the blood? And you see her walk out of the supermarket with a shopping cart full of bags of blood from the meat. It's hilarious. But yeah, really, really good performance from Barbara Crampton as Ann Feder. And her husband's played by Larry Fassenden. He's Pastor Jakob at the local church, you know. So yeah, they're really church-going folk, you know. They're even like, you know, don't blaspheme in the house, you know. They're very kind of goody-goody, and Barbara Crampton is basically the loyal, obedient housewife, you know, the perfect domestic housewife, if you will. But there's been strain in their marriage lately, and I think she kind of resents him because, you know, he never really lets her do anything, you know, because he's so strict in his ways, you know, in his religious ways, that, you know, they never really do anything. They never go out, and he's kind of strict with her, you know. He doesn't let her do anything. He doesn't even let her talk. He keeps interrupting whenever he's having a conversation with somebody, and, you know, she wants to give her input on something. He just kind of, you know, shuts her off, you know, and she kind of starts resenting that. You can tell they've been together a long time and that things have been building to a head, you know. And it's almost like everything he does is starting to annoy her, you know. He snores in his sleep. He's annoying when he brushes his teeth. He's annoying when he eats, you know. It reminded me of that scene in The War of the Roses with Kathleen Turner. She's like, lately, every time I watch you eat, when I see you sleep, I just want to rip your face off. That kind of reminded me of that. But yeah. But then something happens when she's... this guy comes into town, and he wants to make some kind of business out of the local mill. And it's like a big deal with the town. And he just happens to be her ex-lover, you know, from way back, you know. And the husband's like, fine, just tell Tom I said hi. So when she goes to meet him, she gets all decked out and, you know, puts on her best lipstick and gets all dolled up, and, you know. And yeah, they go out to the mill, you know, and it's just like old times. They have a couple drinks, and they're having fun, and they kiss, you know. But they never go that far with it, you know. She just kind of stops it, you know. She's like, I could never do that to Jacob, you know. So yeah, she still has that faith for her husband. She won't go that far with it, you know. So she's a noble woman. She's an honest woman. She has fantasies about it, and she's having trouble with the husband, but she wants to work things out. She wants to do whatever it takes to, you know, make her marriage work. And that's noble. And it's great, you know. But unfortunately, she gets attacked by a vampire. She gets bitten by a vampire. And Robert Russler, who plays Tom, the ex-flame of her, gets eaten by rats, basically. They open this old, beat-up old casket in the mill, this run-down old mill, and it's just flooded with rats, and, you know, they attack him, and that's the one scene I think there was a little bit of CGI in there, you know. But yeah, he gets completely eaten. He's like, ah, you know, and you see the vampire come out with the robe or a cape or whatever, and attack her. Next thing you know, she's bitten by a vampire. So yes, she's now a vampire. And the master comes to see her every now and then, you know, to check up on her. But at first she just seems kind of normal. She doesn't really look any different. But she starts noticing these strange urges, like the scene I described to you earlier at the supermarket. And she doesn't seem to eat anymore. And she starts acting out kind of wildly, you know. She almost sees this as an opportunity to break out from the doldrums, you know, of everyday domestic life, you know. And she's starting kind of acting out and dressing sexy and getting and dancing around and drinking wine. Although the wine she can't seem to drink, you know, just like Dracula, I never drink wine. And she finds that she can't eat or drink, and she doesn't quite understand why. She tries to drink the blood from the meat, and that doesn't work. So she has to move on to people. So she starts picking people off one by one, you know. And she ends up getting caught by her husband, you know. And there's also this one couple that they hang out with all the time, catches her. They kind of stumble in the house, and she's got a body hanging from the ceiling with a neck sliced and the blood dripping in a bucket. Oh, man. So she has to take care of them, you know, because they know too much. And then the husband, Jacob, ends up catching her, and you're like, what are we going to do? And they clean up the mess. And next thing you know, she keeps doing it, and he's there to clean up the mess, you know. But all the while, they're clashing, you know. She's like, what if I like who I am, you know? But he's there to clean up the mess, but he doesn't want to do it anymore. He can't take it, you know. It's against God, it's against nature, it's evil, you know. So his religious side is clashing with her, you know. It's like, you're evil, you know. You're a vampire, you're a blood-sucking freak. And love the design of the master. Very calls back to Nosferatu, the original Nosferatu. It's got that style, the makeup, like blue makeup with the ears and the, you know, the pointy fangs there. And so does Barbara Crampton, as Anne has those similar type of teeth. Vampire teeth, or fangs I should say. So yeah, that's cool. And the master is played by a woman, you know, this time. So played very well by Bonnie Aarons. Very classy. She's got some great lines, you know, and she kind of sucks Anne in by saying stuff like, you know, I was once like you. 35 years of domestic dependency. Were you ever really you? And she starts thinking about that. Yeah, was I ever really myself, or was I just Jacob's wife? That really gets her, yeah. But then, of course, the husband sneaks up and gets the master, you know. We also see a special appearance by CM Punk in the film. There he goes trying to act again. And he was kind of the only thing in this movie that kind of stood out like a sore thumb as this guy's like a B-movie actor. Because this is a very professionally made film. It's a serious take on the vampire genre with a good budget. It never feels like a B-movie or a campy movie. It's just a very well done movie. It's got an excellent score. Very, very creepy and ominous. So yeah, I love the score in this film. I need to get the record for that or something. Really, really cool. Very eerie. Very subtle. Excellent score on this film. So yeah, excellent direction by Travis Steven. It's even got the gore for you gorehounds out there. It's got great acting. Great performance from a legendary scream queen, Barbara Crampton. So yeah, what's not to like about this movie? It's fantastic. I love it. It's one of my favorite horror films of the past few years. So yes, definitely run and get Jacob's Wife and see Barbara Crampton in all her glory. And thank you for joining me, Sean Patrick Erschen, in the Horror Corner. Tune in and stay scared. Folks, don't forget to grab your Sean Patrick Erschen gear and represent the Horror Corner. Also, check out these awesome mugs we have, perfect for your coffee. And definitely check out the Horror Hangout live stream t-shirt and represent the legacy of the Horror Hangout. Check out the link in the description below this video.